Branch offices must operate under the same name as the brokerage and be registered with the division, unless they are a model home, project sales office, or a temporary facility. All trust accounts in which the branch office will deposit must also be registered with the division. Each office must have a principal or branch broker who will actively manage the office. The branch broker must have an associate broker's license, which will be given the designation of BB, branch broker, in their license number during the time the associate broker acts as the branch broker. Someone with a sales agent license may not serve as the branch broker. The principal broker must actively supervise the branch broker. A real estate firm may provide property management services for its clients. All property management performed by a real estate brokerage which has not obtained a separate property management company registration or performed by any licensee or unlicensed assistants affiliated with the brokerage shall be done under the name of the brokerage and not under a separate business name. A separate property management company registration must be obtained in order to conduct property management business under a name different than that of the real estate brokerage. No agent or associate broker may advertise property management services separate of their principal broker's business name. For example, an agent working for ABC Realty cannot advertise they also have property management services as ABC Management Services, because ABC Realty and ABC Management Services could be two different firms. If the firm wishes to offer both types of services, they can endeavor to get a company name approved as ABC Realty and Management Services, or they can alternatively apply to get ABC Realty and ABC Management Services both approved by the Utah Division of Real Estate. Brokers should educate their agents that the agent cannot advertise any services under any name other than that of their principal broker's company. If the real estate brokerage receives approval from the Utah Division of Real Estate to operate a separate property management company using a different company name, the business of that separate property management company must be exclusively property management. No real estate sales activity may be conducted by a property management company. Just as in a sales office, all property management activities by sales agents, associate brokers, or clerical assistants must be actively supervised by the principal broker and the branch broker if a separate branch exists. Property management by unlicensed principals or owners of the real estate firm is prohibited. Individuals who are employed as support service personnel of a property management company may perform the following services under the supervision of the principal broker without holding active real estate licenses. 1. Providing a prospective tenant with access to a vacant apartment. 2. Providing secretarial, bookkeeping, maintenance, or rent collection services. 3. Quoting predetermined rent and lease terms. 4. And filling out pre-printed lease or rental agreements. Another consideration for real estate agents and brokers is the existence of teams of agents working together within a real estate brokerage. Such teams must be careful that all their advertising reflects the name of the broker with whom the team is affiliated. Although the public may feel comforted in knowing that they are dealing with a team of agents instead of just one individual, the public should not be confused into thinking the team is a separate branch or company. Although the team leader may act in a supervisory and/or leadership capacity for the team, each member of the team must have an active real estate license, be affiliated with the principal broker, and be under the supervision of that broker at all times. Advertising cannot lead the public into believing the team is its own company and not under the supervision of the principal broker to whom they are affiliated. Furthermore, the name of the licensee who is primarily responsible for the transaction and does most of the servicing of these clients must appear on the contracts between the client and the firm. The name of the broker must also appear. In a team situation, several agents may work together to fulfill the fiduciary responsibilities to that client. If those licensees wish to receive any credit for the transaction, such as when they acquire their broker's license and need the experience points, or when they wish to acquire a designation such as the Certified Residential Specialist, CRS designation, which requires involvement in a minimum number of transactions, then their name must appear on the contract. If the team leader and their broker are the only names that appear on the contract, then the team leader and the broker will be the only ones to receive credit for the transaction. The team leader and broker are also the only ones who can be held responsible in the event there is a complaint regarding the transaction. A team leader may not actually ever meet the clients or service the transaction while one of the team members is doing all the work. However, if there is a complaint filed, the team leader cannot shift the blame to one of their team members and insulate themselves from the problems that arise from this transaction. Real estate brokers may also opt to offer auction services for their clients, to market real properties at an auction, or to contract with auction companies. Brokers must ensure that all aspects of an auction company with which they contract comply with the rules of the Utah Division of Real Estate. Auctioneers and auction companies may conduct auctions of real property under the following conditions. 1. All advertising and promotional materials must conspicuously disclose the name of the supervising broker. 2. The auction must be conducted under the supervision of that broker. The broker must be present during the actual auction. 3. Any purchase agreements must be filled out by a Utah real estate licensee on state-approved forms. 4. Deposits must be placed in the broker's trust account or a depository agreed to in writing by the parties. 5. The broker is responsible for the closing of each transaction arising out of the auction. Some real estate companies offer a guaranteed sales program, such as, "If we don't sell it, we buy it." All aspects of any special program guaranteeing the sale of the seller's property must be disclosed to all parties, including all costs and conditions, how the purchase price will be determined, and the approximate net proceeds the seller might expect. Advertising must include conspicuously any conditions which may apply to this special guaranteed sale program. Remember, it is forbidden for an agent or broker to represent a client in a transaction in which the agent is a principal in that same transaction. Obviously, the agent or broker purchasing a property from a client will have their own best interests in mind and cannot fairly represent the best interests of the client. The agent and broker will have to explain these challenges to the client and mutually agree to cancel their agency contract. If the seller wishes to have representation in this transaction, they will have to arrange for it separately because they cannot be represented by their former brokerage that will now be purchasing their property.